Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. After Game 2, Ty, you mentioned that you and the coaches would look at stuff for adjustments. Are there any lineup or player rotation adjustments that you can discuss?
No, sir.
Is it whether or not you do this? You had gone away from Rodney Hood a while ago, and Jetty hasn't played much at all, and so I think some fans in some corners are, saying, "Well, try them." But how difficult would that be in a finals to go to one of those guys who just haven't played much in the playoffs?
I don't think it'd be too difficult. We're going to give Rodney a chance. He'll get a shot and see how he does. So he's been working, staying ready, and so we'll see.
Tim, back left.
Ty, Tim Reynolds with the AP. You know that Steph's going to be great and Kevin's going to be great and Clay's going to make shots, sure. But how frustrating is it? Maybe not frustrating is the wrong word, but when Sean Livingston's 9 for 9 in those two games, when JaVale goes 6 for 6 in Game 2, how tough is it to deal with that? No matter how good a job you do on their big guys, their role players have. It seems like they played pretty flawlessly in the first two games.
Well, I think when you're locked in and you're trying to take away KD, you're trying to take away Steph and Clay, Livingston and McGee, they're going to get some shots, and we just got to do a better job of taking away their easy, the dunks and layups around the basket. So when you're focusing on those three guys, other guys are going to get shots, but we got to do a good job of just taking away the easy ones.
Marla up front.
Marla Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal. You talked a little bit the other night about Korver not getting open. How imperative is it for you to change that? Find ways to get his shots?
It's hard. Because they switch out on everything. So all the actions you run for Kyle, they just switch out to deny and take him away. When they are helping on LeBron's penetrations, one guy they're staying at home with is Kyle. They're not leaving his body. So with him being on the floor, they have to pay attention to him, know where he's at all times, and he gives us spacing offensively. But they're not leaving him. So we try to run a lot of actions for them. They're just switching out and taking it away. So we got to do a better job playing faster in transition, getting some shots, and probably wide pins early on in transition instead of waiting until he gets too deep to the corner. So we'll see.
One more thing about Rodney, are you thinking about giving him a chance in this game?
Yes, ma'am.
Chris, third row.
Hey, Ty. Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. With you guys switching as much as you are on defense, what is the most important aspect to do that effectively?
Physicality. I think you got to be physical because they slip out a lot, and put you in some binds when they slip out. But if we're physical into their body and pushing up the slips, then we can get underneath them and take that away. So the most important thing is physicality.
Paul, all the way in the back.
Hey, Ty. Paul Flannery, SB Nation. If I could just take a step back and indulge me a little bit, what is it that you like best about coaching, besides talking to us, obviously? But, what is it that you like and appreciate about the job that you do?
I like, one thing is the playoffs. I think when you get to the playoffs and you're able to scheme and you're able to game plan and make adjustments and things like that throughout the course of the playoffs, I like that. I like, the first year we had a chance to win a championship when all the hard work you put in with your coaching staff and with the players, and then it all comes together and you win a championship is gratifying, at the end. And me as a young coach, having older teams, it really hasn't been – I haven't been able to really teach, and kind of mold younger guys into who you want them to be. So that's probably the most gratifying. If you get younger guys you can kind of mold and fit your personality, fit the style you want to play. And then at the end of the day when you do that and then see when they get it, it feels good. And like with Jordan and Rodney Hood and Larry Nance, Jetty and those guys, and when you get an opportunity to see like how they come out of this playoffs and carry it over to next year and see how they've grown, that's what it's about.
Any other questions for Coach? In the back, Dave.
Come in late asking questions, man.
Ty, how much can one win for you guys change the complexion of this series?
We got to take care of home. and I think we've done a great job of playing here throughout the course of the playoffs. Our fans are great. They're going to be ready and fired up, and they took care of their home court. They won 2 games on their home floor. Now we got to come back and do the same thing. So we're very confident we can do that. The guys are engaged, they're locked in. So, winning tomorrow is a step forward, but then, going out and winning game 4 also. So we're locked into doing that. We know we can.
How do you gauge or measure your guys' belief heading into this one? Like, what do you see that gives you the confidence to say that it is still there?
We believe. I mean, we watch tape, we watch film, and see the things that we can get better at. Very minor things. The most important thing, I think, is physicality, of just being able to be on bodies, being physical, not let Steph and Clay and KD roam freely. So we see some things we can do, and we played them well the first game. Game 2, all the way up to like the last 7 or 8 minutes of the fourth quarter. So they play well at home. We understand that. We play well at home too. So we're ready for the challenge.
Last 2, Marla and Alvaro in the back.
The other night, JR and George were talking about miscommunication on defense, and I was also thinking about communication, like at the end of game 1, about how many timeouts. Do you guys really need to, change anything about their communication issues?
No, I think we got to talk ELC, early, loud, and continuous, as far as defensively with our switches. And end of the game, I mean, we all knew we had a timeout left, but we didn't call a timeout to, when Steph got the and one, we just took it up the floor so they couldn't try to sub Steph out for what we wanted to run. And we got the matchup we wanted, and we got 2 free throws out of it. So no problem with the communication.
Last question, Alvaro in the back.
Coach Alvaro Martini, ESPN. Golden State presents a lot of problems in transition when they go on offense. Game 2, you did a much better job eliminating fast break points, and yet taking those out, transition defense, when they have the ball, it's early in their offense. What has to happen in these games in Cleveland, the rest of the series, that maybe have not happened before?
I think continue to do a good job in transition, like you said. They are the most dangerous when they're in transition. When you have Steph and Clay running to the corners, KD bringing it up, or Draymond pushing the basketball. The biggest thing is just we can't relax. I think we showed clips to our guys today where Steph gives the ball up and he continues to keep moving. We relax. He gets a 3. Clay, we relax. He gets a 3. So we got to stay locked in. We can't relax and give them open shots. They're going to make some tough shots. That's who they are. But we got to take away the easy ones.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Coach.